Good morning, Unity Santa Fe. Good morning to all of you in the sanctuary. Good morning to all of you on Zoom or live streaming or recording or wherever. Yeah, I'm looking over here. She's telling me the camera's there. Finally, it's my last day. I know where the camera is. Woohoo! Welcome to Unity Santa Fe. We are a positive, practical, spiritual organization where we teach. But not only teach spiritual principles, we embody them and we activate them, we live them in our lives so our lives are better and our world is better. This is a grand day at Unity Santa Fe today. My name is Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson. I have been your transitional minister. Today we close that transition, we close the gap, and we welcome your new senior minister, Reverend Liz. Woohoo! And those of you online, if you couldn't hear that and feel that, you ought to get yourselves here in the building. Now, I know some of you are all over the planet, so stay on Zoom too. It's all good. We are focusing today on the ending of the gap. And one of the things that we do at the beginning of each service is start with our mission, our vision, our core values. Today we're going to lean into our core values. Our mission, our vision, our core values is the foundation of who we be, and from who we be, what we do, and how we are in the world. So, do we have our core values, Janine? Yay! So, feeling, right, because it's all about the feeling, embodying, activating these core values. We'll read them, I'll read them, and then I'll invite you to say them with me, but not just say them, feel them. So Unity Santa Fe, core values, the fundamental basis of who we be is God first. God first. God first. Awareness. Come into awareness, right? Joy. Let's hear the joy. Woo! Love. Love. Appreciation. Oh. Wasn't Heidi's talk on appreciation and gratitude fabulous last week? And humble surrender. Feel that. Humble surrender to what? God first. To love, to joy. Let's take these awarenesses, these values into an opening prayer. For what we know to be true is that when we keep these values in the forefront of our awareness being one of them, we are lined up, we are aligned with the best of our becomingness. These values guide us in all that we do. And as we embody them and integrate them in and through our lives and in and through our ministry, we are the biggest, boldest, most brilliant becomingness of Unity Santa Fe. God first, awareness, joy, love, appreciation, and humble surrender to the good, to the glory of all that we are. We ask God's blessing on today, on this moment in time, this auspicious moment for Unity Santa Fe. We ask that every single person watching is blessed by the activity of Spirit through some aspect of our ministry. And so it is, and so we let it be, and so we begin. Will you please stand and join us in our opening song? Yeah, you may be seated. Because we're at this moment in time, we wanted to take a moment this morning to honor and appreciate a few people. Those few people are not all that we honor and appreciate by any way, shape, or form, but the people that we're honoring and appreciating today is the search team. Which is Wanda, who's on Zoom, Catherine, who's on Zoom from Tucson, Heidi, and Carol. So Carol, is Heidi in the room? Carol, come on up. And the production team, which is the way back, right? We've got the production team, those who have been serving us through this time of transition and COVID and online and not online and hybrid. You don't even know the amount of work that these people have put in. So production team, please come forward. And Susanna, who's held our office together through all kinds of, how many people have you had to report to, Susanna? Many of us. We honor her. And so we've got Janine and Pecha, there's Heidi, and Jessica. And we are also honoring Janet. So Janet, you also please come up. Janet has been our Sunday service coordinator from the COVID, from the sanitizing to all the moving parts. So many. So these are a snippet of some of who we honor today. And so what we want you to know is without you, we wouldn't be here. Take that in, right? We also honor all of the hours and the energy and the time that you have brought to this ministry. Some of you over the last month, some of you over the last years, some of you over the last weeks. And we recognize that. And so we have a gift for you today. We have a little gift. It's a symbol. And maybe just right over here. Actually, we need you to come front and center so we can see you on Zoom. So just line up right in front of our thing here. And Debbie is going to help me today. Debbie's going to gift you with this beautiful star because you are the stars of Unity, Santa Fe, and your light blesses all of us. So we thank you for your over and above dedication of time and talent and energy. And you are the foundation of what has held us together. Aren't those beautiful? So we want to, as a congregation, bless these people and those who are on Zoom too, those who aren't here. And so we say, I'll say it together because I don't know if it's the same one you always use. We're going to say, we love you, we bless you, we behold the Christ in you, and we appreciate you. Together? We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Thank you so, so, so much. Yep. So we take this time of meditation to give ourselves to love. So take a deep breath. If you haven't done so already, close your outer eye. And bring your awareness deep into the very center of your own being. And feel the possibility of giving yourself to love. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel your body, become aware of your body. Feel your feet connected to the ground and through the ground to the earth. And as you connect to the earth, feel your heart opening, softening, expanding. And feel that love activating. The thing about love is the very foundation of what we are created in and as. The thing about love is it's big enough, expansive enough that it holds all emotion, all experience. Love holds you. It holds your pain and your joy. It holds your grief and your celebration. It holds the infinite possibilities. And it is through love that our hearts open even more fully. Give yourself to love, to the tears, to the laughter, to the joys, to the sorrows. Give yourself to love, and as you do so, feel your entire being sort of gently tumbling into this expansive space. That space called home. That space called oneness and allness. That space called love. And as you tumble into that space, feel that love permeating and penetrating and filling the very inner spaces of your being. Through your mind, your emotions, through your physicality, all the way down to the spaces in the cells of your body. And as you do so, feel every cell of your being igniting, lighting up like diamonds in the sky, twinkling, getting lighter and brighter, guiding and directing you through the next phase of your own journey. And we feel that collectively, that love that is ignited and activated in our ministry, Unity Santa Fe, in the very cells of our being, igniting, sparkling, becoming more and more brilliant as we join together. Feel through those sparkles ignited in you a sense of anticipation and expectation of amazing things. Feel how we line up together for the greater good, the biggest, boldest, most brilliant becomingness of this ministry. And it's into this place that we place all of our prayer requests, all the things that are on our minds and our hearts. We just place that in the field of the infinite, in the field of the miraculous outcomes. And we lift it, all of it, and we free it, and we ignite it, and we let it expand out into the world and around the globe, circling all the way right back around, filling you once again, blessing you once again. And in that, know, in the core of your being, love. And in that love, know in the core of your being that you and we and us and Unity Santa Fe are doing amazing things. Amazing things. For this, we give thanks. And so it is. And so we let it be. I didn't really know I'd be crying today. Amazing. Bill Brooks, amazing. Amazing. And of course, our beloved Brian. Yeah. And you know, one of the amazing things is that Bill Brooks rearranged his entire schedule to be here today, and I want to acknowledge that. Thank you. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? I mean, how do you feel right now? Just feeling into, how do you feel in this moment? I feel like tingly, alive, like the expectation is like really high and excited, and it's all moving. It's just, I don't know, amazing, I guess. So today, this is an auspicious day. This is a moment in time. This is a mile marker, if you will, for Unity Santa Fe. I've been with you in some form since June, so we're at 6 months. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Where'd those 6 months go? My role in starting to work with the board back in June was to help facilitate a graceful transition between the retirement of Reverend Brendolyn, 26 plus years, the ending. We did that ending really, really well, because what we know in transition is the better you do the ending, the more successful your beginning can be. But then we held the space for my favorite place, the gap. The gap. The place of the unknown, the place of who knows what, the place of all of it and none of it. The place where everything can be reworked, if you will. But in that gap, and even in the ending, the people behind the scenes, this ministry, your board, we acknowledge your board too. Can we just acknowledge the board too? What a work they've done this year. Yeah. There's some fist bumping going on over here. But there's been all of the work underneath it, behind it, around it. And we have done amazing things. And we found, right? We said, we had a new minister affirmation for months, but we added that when we see that person, we will recognize that person. And boy, howdy did we. And what I know about Reverend Liz is that she was doing the same type of work. And that she was looking for her next place, and with the intention of recognizing that as well. This was a divine, magnetic coming together. And today, we close the gap, and we start the new beginning. And what I want you to know, even though we are on this threshold, the work of their transition will continue. And so your work is to stay conscious of what comes through the transition, because what we've practiced over the last few months is healthy, long-term relationship, good, healthy, again, communication. Remember all the communication work? I'm looking at the people I know who were in the webinars that we did, the workshops that we did. Oh, no wonder I feel this, because I value this, right? Remember that work? Okay, we've got some nodding going on. We're practicing spiritual principle, and we're putting into practice healthy dynamics for healthy long-term relationship, because that's what ministry is all about. So we are on a threshold today, and threshold, I have a quote from John O'Donohue, from Benedictus, to bless the space between us. I love that title. A threshold is not a simple boundary. It's a frontier, think gap, that divides two different territories, rhythms, and atmospheres. Indeed, it is a lovely testimony to the fullness and integrity of an experience or a stage of life that it intensifies towards the end into a real frontier that cannot be crossed without the heart being passionately engaged and woken up. Give yourself to love. At this threshold, a great complexity of emotion comes alive. This is also gap, right? Confusion, fear, excitement, sadness, hope. It is wise in your own life to be able to recognize and acknowledge the key thresholds, to take your time, to feel all the varieties of presence that accrue there, to listen inward with complete attention until you hear the inner voice calling you forward. We are on that threshold. We have built that bridge. There's so much I want to say, and the truth is, I can't say everything I want to say today because I have a limited time today, and I have a limited time with you. So in one version, as I was preparing this talk, and by the way, there are usually multiple versions of any given talk, including this morning, but at one point I made a list of all the things I wanted to say, and it was like 24 things. I thought, well, I could just bullet that, and I went, oh, I can never do that. That's way too much. But here's what I really want to say. And I've already said it probably twice this morning. It's all about what? Relationship, 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 relationship. Think about the relationships that you have in your own life. Those that work and those that don't quite work, right? This one works. But it's about communication. Communication, communication. It's about love. It's about leaning in to being the love that you seek. It's about merging in a way, right, that creates something more. It's about co-creating the future of this ministry. Now, some of the work that we've done over the last 6 months has been really visioning, has been leaning into what does Spirit have in mind for this ministry in 3 years' time. We use 3 years' time because it's long enough to get us out of our heads and into a receiving, like what might that be like? What might that feel like? And I'll tell you what, it is filled with amazing things. It is, and somebody's speaking to us. There's somebody's phone is saying something. I don't know what that was, but it is said that the greatest commandment is love. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all your spirit, with everything you have. And what? Love your neighbor as yourself. Love yourself as your neighbor. Love is the way and the truth and the path. And love is not only an emotional state of being, it's not only that, but it's the foundation for who we are. From 1 John, it says, God is love and love is God. And if you know God, you know love. And if you know love, you know God. And as we read our core values today, it's God first. It's awareness. It's love. It's out of love comes joy. It comes humble surrender. All of those things work together for the greater good of what we're here to be and do. I've been in a lot of Unity churches over the last, since I've been out of what I call church ministry, the last 5, 6, almost 7 years now. And what I love the most in congregations is the congregations who are actively working their spiritual principles, who are putting the practices into their being, embodiment, integrating, and into their lives. And those are the ministries that are thriving. Those are the ministries that are out doing really powerful good work in the world. Because we can no longer just, come on Sundays and call it good. I mean, we could. But what we're called to do as ministries is to be in the world, to be impacting the world, to bring our presence and our being into the world to make a difference. And that's part of what we see in the visioning, in the stepping forward, in the being who we're here to be. So Reverend Liz is ready. She's ready. She thinks she's ready. We think she's ready. So I found a little bit of a joke that I wanted to share, and it has to do with seminary. Now, Liz is about to be ordained for, second, third time, maybe fourth time, maybe. Anyway, in Unity. It's coming soon, probably in the spring. But she carries ordination from before. She carries a boatload of experience and wisdom and training and all of that. But so when you read seminary, you can also, let me just share it because it's pretty funny. I think it's funny. It might be an insider joke. Maybe it's only you and me that'll think, the three of us that'll think it's funny. Okay, so going to seminary is a lot like going to culinary school. Any chefs in the house? Okay, a couple. All right, you can relate to this, James. Going to seminary is a lot like going to culinary school. You learn the basic foundations, some cool party tricks, and by the end you can prepare a gourmet meal. Pastoring, however, ministering, however, is waking up every day to a new episode of Chopped, where the ingredients are completely random, and you're expected to do something with whatever you're handed, while everyone watches and provides running commentary. And occasionally, something explodes. So we're giving you a whole boatload of who knows what kind of ingredients to work with. But what we know is that when love is first, and God is first, that it all amazing creations come out of an episode in Chopped. So I don't know, I kind of liked it. Did you like it? I don't know. Okay. So here's one promise about the future. No, I'm not psychic. Well, kind of I am, but that's not what this is about. There's one promise for the future. That is that it will 100% guaranteed not be the same as the past. Right? But that doesn't make the past wrong or bad. Sometimes, you know the phrase, you have to let go of the good for the greater? You have to let go of the good for the better, right? But only by function of new minister in place, things will be different. That causes people, generally speaking, maybe not Unity Santa Fe people, but that causes people to go, wah! Wait a minute, she changed something. Well, I've been giving you some practice in that. So, and part of that is by design, right? Because part of what I've done, or my role, is to soften the soil, to look at some of the places that could be updated or renewed or changed. Changed. Come on, say it with me. Change. Things are all in a process of change. And that is not a bad thing, nor does it make the past bad. But it puts us in places where we get to be flexible, where we get to be, if something gets pushed up and you go, I don't like it, then come and talk to somebody. Not in the parking lot. You know what I'm talking about, parking lot conversations, not that. Bring it to whoever, like bring it to Liz, bring it to the board. If something's wonky, weird. But otherwise, like be flexible. Like over this next, I don't know, decade or year or 6 months, there's going to be a little bit, it might wobble, but the wobble is good. Because the wobble is the only way that growth happens. Right? So get on your wobble shoes. And we're not calling forth wobble, but we're just saying if it wobbles, wobble with it. Go, what else can we see? What else can we do? So I have another joke. You want another joke? Yeah. Okay. So there were two guys who were working for the city. Not the city of Santa Fe, I'm sure, but some city somewhere. And the first guy was working along the side of a street, and he would come and he would dig this hole. He would dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig, and it would be this great big huge hole. And then the second guy would come and he would fill the hole. And there was a man who was watching this, and it was like happening over and over, and he got curious. He said, so he just had to go talk to the man. They said, what in the world are you doing? I've been watching you dig a hole and fill a hole. What is the point? I don't get it. And the guy responded, oh yeah, it might look a little bit funny, but I'm the hole digger, and John is a hole filler upper, but Charlie's out sick today, and he's the plant the tree guy. So if you notice that you're digging a hole and somebody's filling it, you might want to look at what's working and what's not. If you notice there's a gap in a system, you might want to enroll somebody. You might want to bring a tree builder in, or tree planter in, yes. But all that is to just say, this is an amazing moment in time. And as I talked a lot about a few months ago, is every beginning has an ending, right? And so it's bittersweet for me. My whole role in life is about endings. It's a really weird place to be, I have to say. But today is also an ending. It's the ending of the transition time. It's the ending of the gap, so to speak. Not to say that the transition won't continue, but the gap. And so it's my last Sunday here. And you can all applaud if you want, and I promise I won't take it personally. But in that, I wanted to just take a moment to just really honor you. It has been my utmost delight and my greatest joy to serve this ministry over these 6 months, to watch you and to see what I've seen. What I've seen is a willingness, such a willingness to know what you don't know, to know that you don't know, such willingness to drop the anxiety and the stress, such willingness to lean into the possibilities, such willingness to know that there is something really, really grand about to happen in this ministry, and such willingness to look and see and tell the truth, to honor the past even as we're co-creating the future. And the volunteers in this ministry, you already see this, Liz. The volunteers in this ministry, and all of you at some level are volunteering, and even your presence here on Sunday morning and even your presence here online is impactful for this ministry because you are this ministry. It's not Liz's ministry. It's not my ministry. It might have been Brendalin's ministry, but it's a new day and age. So it's our ministry. So I just want to say thank you for your willingness, for your ability to show up, your ability to shift and change and pivot, and your willingness to learn, to take on new ideas, to be different for the greater good of all that is. So together we have softened the soil, so to speak. We have pulled some weeds, so to speak. We've created spaciousness in our body, in our mind, in our systems, in our ministry. And we have released so much stress. Remember, Tom, how stressed you were, Karen? How stressed you were when we first had those conversations, like, we don't know what we're doing or how we're going to get there. But your willingness to drop that in order to be in a different way, in a different space. So we have walked together. We have walked for a journey together, for a while together. We have, in a sense, walked each other home, have we not? And so we use the walking stick as a symbol of transition. Those of you who were here when we blessed Brendalyn in her last day will recognize this walking stick. This is the partner to the one we gave her. It's a Georgia O'Keeffe. It's a work of art. And it says on it, "I have never had a more beautiful walk." And we have kept this walking stick since we got it on, whenever that was, a few months ago, on the stage, holding space, symbolic of me walking you to Reverend Liz. So Liz, would you join me on the stage, please? And you can just, we're going to applaud her a couple of times, but just bring her up there with a Unity Santa Fe applause. You.
She's responsible, I understand, for a lot of what is coming forth here, and you brought forth Reverend Eliza. Thank you.
Yeah, to bring you forth.
Good job.
Hey, thanks. Hey, right? So in ritual, in ceremony, we like ritual and ceremony because, yeah, Jess is going to bring you the mic, but I'm not going to let you have it much. It's underneath my notes over there. Thank you, Jessica. I might have to let you have it because the Zoom people couldn't hear that. Do you want to repeat it? I know you can't,
I can.
Oh, now she's got to get you on.
Just a moment.
There we go.
I think we're on.
There we are. Yep.
So what I spoke, for those that may not have been able to hear, I'm just taking you in now. I'm like in another moment. But your love is incredible. And I am so touched by how you have put your hearts out. This ministry is love in expression. You are love in expression, and I love what Reverend Eliza has done. You brought forth one of the best people to create this experience in this day. So you are the amazing things, and when Bill sang that, I was thinking, we are doing amazing things, because it's it together. And yes, I have the God bumps. And I know that we have more rituals, so I'm going to try and let the minister release her microphone for a moment.
I know, I was really hesitant to give her a mic, because you know how we are. We is very collective in that, right? Right, Divine? Okay, so we use ritual and we use ceremony because it accesses a different part of the brain. It accesses the place between the worlds, a space in consciousness that allows for transformation, for innocence, for ceremony. So take a breath and step into ritual and ceremony and imagination and fun and play, right, with us. So Unity Santa Fe, I gift you. Now I realize I'm not the one that actually gets to gift her, but I'm on stage, so I'm going to do it, right? Unity Santa Fe, I gift you with Reverend Liz. I've held sacred space as you've moved through your search and you have found your perfect match. Will you, I'm going to ask a couple will yous, and then at the end I'm going to have you respond, but I'll tell you. Will you walk with Reverend Liz in ministry, honoring who she is, respecting her role, and her life outside of this ministry? Appreciating and honoring also her beautiful wife, Reverend Divine Joy Young. Will you commit to being in a long-term relationship with Reverend Liz? If so, please say, we do. And we collectively say to Liz, I'll say it once and then I'll have you repeat it line by line. We see you, we recognize you, we bless you, and we welcome you into this ministry. I'll say part. We see you, we recognize you, we bless you, and we welcome you into this ministry. And Reverend Liz, I gift you with Unity Santa Fe.
Yes. I am home. Thank you.
I have walked with them, calling you in. Here is the ministry. Love them, honor them, appreciate them, and begin your long-term relationship with them individually and collectively as a ministry. And so in sacred ritual, I gift you this walking stick. On behalf of this ministry, I present it to you, symbolic of the walk and the journey that you begin together today. It's a reminder that you're not alone, that the unknown is an exciting place as you discover together what's next for Unity Santa Fe, what God has in mind for all of you. It's a symbol also of our blessing, honor, appreciation, and excitement of our journey together. You can say a thing. I have one more sentence.
I might have something to say about that.
You might have something to say.
What I want to say is thank you for being the love that you are, and the love that you are for helping to create this expression of God's love. I loved walking in on December 1st into the office and finding a basket full of welcoming love cards. I've received a few more today. And what was really interesting, the last one that I read last night, you up there, I see you. The last one I read was a happy 10th year anniversary card. Yes, I received my first 10-year anniversary card, right? So I have never had a more beautiful walk, is the truth. Already experienced an expression, and I am so excited, and I can't hide it, and I am looking forward to this love affair, because what I have said to numerous folks, I fell in love with Santa Fe, the whole area. I fell in love with Unity Santa Fe. And you know the best part? I believe Unity Santa Fe has fallen in love with me. So we are going to begin having a grand love affair, and that means a lot of different things, but we're together in love, and it's about giving yourself to love, and that's what we're here for.
That's what we're called to be.
That's who we are.
Yeah.
Amen. Yes.
So, Reverend Liz,
More?
they're all yours.
They're all mine?
Unity, Unity Santa Fe, here she is. We're just begun. So you've called each other together. You've done the work. Now the fun begins, because you are called to be. Take it away, Bill and Brian.
Wow. Just wow. Just wow. Now, before we go into our closing, we do want to take a couple minutes to acknowledge Reverend Eliza. And we're going to do so in a couple of ways. So Reverend Eliza, first of all, if you would come up, please. And first, if I could ask Karen Roberts, our board vice president, to come up. We have a couple of things for you here. Yep, there we are. First of all, Karen, here you go.
Thank you, Tom. Reverend Eliza.
Karen.
I know I speak on behalf of the entire Board of Trustees when I say that without you, we would have been lost for these last 6 months. Maybe not just even lost, but floundering, maybe even drowning. I know I felt a couple times like I was drowning. But your ability to come here and hold sacred space for us was the peace that we needed, the peace that calmed those stormy seas during this transitional time. So we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you, and that's what this says on this certificate of completion presented this day on December 5th, 2021. It also says that this certifies that Eliza Bloom Robinson has lovingly blessed Unity Santa Fe as its transitional consultant and transitional minister from June to December 2021. Presented this day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And just one other small gift. This is a copy of all of the appreciation slides that were shown before service, so that you can read and appreciate and love those as you go on your way.
Wonderful, thank you. Those come out, I did not know about those, obviously, and when I sat down and they were running up there, I'm like, oh, I didn't know I'd be crying today. Thank you so much.
Okay. And, of course, as we say on Midnight TV, but wait, there's more. And if we could have Carol Ryan and Janet McKenna come up, we've wanted you to have something to take with you that would remind you of us and also Santa Fe and New Mexico. So.
Aww.
Reverend Eliza, Thank you for your intelligence, for your pleasure, for your love. By the grace of God, we got you. I mean, we could have had anybody.
I thought the same thing. By the grace of God, I gotcha.
It's true. We could have had anybody, but we had you. And you have filled us with less anxiety. You've given us clarity. You've given us, again, your intelligence, and you're very, very effective. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being our leader through this process that we needed your help with. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you.
And so we want to give you this gift, and when you wear it, and we want you to open it and pull out the we hope you will think of us and all the love and guidance through the gap.
Through the gap.
Through the gap. And leading us to the perfect outcome.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, everyone. There's paper in. Oh my goodness gracious! Wow. Oh my goodness. Can you help me? Somebody put it on me. I don't have enough hands. Oh, it's beautiful.
We really didn't know how much Reverend Eliza liked butterflies when we found this, but there it is.
And earrings to go. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
And this is just some of the symbolism that the butterfly is to the Native American culture. And I just have to tell people, we bought this butterfly a week ago or so. And then on our meeting Wednesday night, Reverend Liz was...
Come in here a little bit. Zoom can't see you yet.
Reverend
There we
Liz
go.
was... Well, I mean, Reverend Eliza was, well, Reverend Liz was there too. And when Reverend Liz came on, there was Eliza at her home in Arizona, sitting in front of this huge, big, rectangular butterflies. And then Liz got on and they both went, oh, butterflies, do you love butterflies? I love butterflies. And here we had purchased a butterfly for her to remember us. So we are just
Wonderful.
We love you, and we will miss
thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Yeah. Oh, I don't need that. Do you need that? I just want to say thank you for everything again. And I just am so excited to see your future. I've said to your board and to Liz, if you want to keep me on as a ministerial consultant, there's lots of work we can do over time. And so I may, who knows, I may be back. And if I do, I will come with just open hearts. And meanwhile, I just go with you in my hearts and just holding the highest and best for this ministry today and always. Thank you. Yeah.
So now we come to the time of the closing of our service. First of all, is there anybody who's here from the first time, either in person or on Zoom? Anybody? If you could raise your hand. Oh, there we go.